Are you looking at your quote for die cut parts and wondering why your unit price gets cheaper the more parts you order? Keep watching and we'll explain this important part of the quoting process. There are many factors that affect the cost of a part. In this video, we will cover unit cost and the 3 reasons it will go down as you order more parts. The unit price drops as quantity increases because there are fixed costs associated with your order. In particular, there are setup costs, breakdown, and cleanup costs that are associated regardless if you order 10,000 parts or 100,000 parts. When you order more parts, the fixed costs are spread out more, and that allows the unit price to drop as you order more. The 3 main reasons why higher part quantities lead to a lower price per part are the setup and assembly process, the die cut testing process, which ensures that we're making parts to your specifications, and the runtime. The setup and assembly process entails putting your material on the press, putting any tools that we need, like a die cutting tool or a slitting tool, setting everything up the way we need to make your parts to spec, and then testing that to ensure that we're meeting your quality standards. It also includes the labor time to complete all these processes for setup, breakdown, cleanup, inspection. Setup and assembly costs remain relatively consistent regardless of how many parts you order. So if this fixed cost is divided across 10,000 parts versus 100,000 parts, it's going to make a larger percentage of your total cost. Die cut production testing is where we measure the parts coming off the press to ensure that they're meeting the standards set out by your drawing. We're taking your drawing, turning it into an eye pick, and then measuring the parts to ensure that we're meeting all of the standards set. Ordering more parts does actually require more testing. However, this is relatively negligible compared to some of the other costs like runtime and setup costs. Typically, you're talking about an extra 5 minutes for measuring as opposed to hours and hours on setup or runtime. Project runtime is how long it takes us to run your product. Larger quantities means we have larger runtimes, which means we have more labor. However, the fixed cost ends up being a lower percentage of your total costs, which makes the unit cost go down as you scale up to more products. Hearing all this, you might be inclined to order more parts. However, you should consider things like your financial resources, how often you're using parts, your storage space, as well as whether the shelf life of the material will expire before you're able to use it. All of these factors could make ordering more parts less advantageous. There are many factors that determine your unit costs on your quote. If you have any more questions, feel free to check out our Learning Center or reach out to us directly. Thanks for watching.